Welcome back to Important Updates, global news without the noise. Subscribe to stay updated. This is why you need to pay attention to the South China Sea. The South China Sea, also known locally as the West Philippine Sea, is often called the blue heart of the Philippines. These waters are more than just a boundary. They are the nation's lifeblood, sustaining millions of Filipinos who depend on its rich fisheries for food and livelihood. Beyond that, the sea serves as a vital artery for international trade, with countless ships passing through its busy lanes every day, connecting the Philippines to the world and shaping its national identity and economy. But today, these waters have become a flashpoint for regional tension. Chinese vessels now regularly intrude into the Philippines' exclusive economic zone, challenging the country's sovereignty and escalating maritime disputes. These incursions not only threaten the livelihoods of Filipino fishermen who risk harassment and danger, but also raise the stakes for peace and stability in the region. In response to these mounting pressures, the Philippines has been compelled to shift its defense strategy outward. The government is investing heavily in modernizing its military, aiming to deter aggression and safeguard its territorial integrity. This transformation is about more than just new equipment. It's about ensuring the nation's future security. The objective isn't to provoke conflict, but to make any hostile action prohibitively costly for potential adversaries. By strengthening its defenses, the Philippines hopes to maintain peace through credible deterrence. This is where asymmetric capabilities come into play, advanced systems that allow smaller nations to punch above their weight. By leveraging technology, the Philippines can level the playing field against larger, more powerful rivals. One standout example is the Meteor, a state-of-the-art European air-to-air missile. With its long range and precision, the Meteor could dramatically enhance the Philippine Air Force's ability to defend the nation's skies, deterring threats before they even reach Philippine airspace. Acquiring such advanced systems could fundamentally shift the security balance in the West Philippine Sea, providing the Philippines with a much-needed shield and a stronger voice in defending its sovereignty and future. The Meteor is a long-range air-to-air missile, one of the world's most advanced. Its secret, a ramjet engine, allowing it to breathe and sustain high speeds over long distances. Unlike traditional missiles that lose energy and become easier to evade, the Meteor maintains relentless pursuit, creating a massive, no-escape zone. For enemy pilots, being targeted by a Meteor means there's almost no way out. This extends a fighter's reach, letting pilots strike before the enemy even knows they're in danger. The Meteor's beyond visual range capability is a game-changer for modern air combat. For the Philippines, it means projecting power over vast maritime territory from the air. In a region where distance is everything, that's a strategic asset. The Philippine Air Force's main fighter, the FA-50PH, currently relies on the short-range AIM-9 Sidewinder missile. This missile has been the backbone of the country's air-to-air arsenal for years, providing a reliable but limited means of self-defense. The Sidewinder is a heat-seeking missile, designed to home in on the hot exhaust of enemy aircraft, and is best used in close-range encounters where pilots can visually identify and track their targets. The Sidewinder is effective in close dogfights, where agility and quick reflexes matter most. However, modern air combat has evolved. Today, engagements are often decided long before pilots can even see each other, with missiles launched from dozens of kilometers away. This shift means that relying solely on short-range missiles puts pilots at a significant disadvantage. Against adversaries equipped with advanced, long-range missiles, Filipino pilots are outgunned before they can even engage. Enemy aircraft can detect, track, and fire upon the FA-50PH from well beyond the reach of the Sidewinder, forcing Filipino pilots to constantly play defense and limiting their ability to control the skies. The Meteor changes everything. With a range of over 100 kilometers, 10 times that of the Sidewinder, it allows the FA-50PH to strike first. The Meteor is not just about distance, it's about giving pilots the ability to engage threats before those threats can get close enough to retaliate. With Meteor, pilots can launch their missiles from a safe distance, then immediately disengage and reposition. This fire-and-forget approach dramatically increases their survivability, as they are no longer forced to close in on the enemy and risk being shot down themselves. This launch-and-leave capability transforms the FA-50PH from a light attack aircraft into a true air superiority fighter. It gives Filipino pilots the confidence to patrol contested airspace, knowing they have the tools to defend themselves and their country. Even a small number of Meteor-equipped jets could create a powerful defensive bubble over the West Philippine Sea. This extended reach means that any hostile aircraft entering Philippine airspace would be at risk, forcing adversaries to think twice before making any aggressive moves. The Meteor's ramjet engine ensures the missile maintains high speed and energy throughout its flight, arriving at its target with lethal force even at maximum range. This makes it extremely difficult for enemy aircraft to evade, no matter how far away they are when the missile is launched. This leap in capability gives the Philippines a credible deterrent it has never had before. Pilots can now respond to threats with confidence, knowing they have the technology to match or even surpass potential adversaries. Suddenly, the balance of power in the region shifts. With Meteor missiles in their arsenal, the Philippine Air Force can project strength, protect its territory, and help ensure peace and stability in the West Philippine Sea. At this very moment, China's Air Force holds a significant edge in both range and technology, allowing them to patrol the skies above the West Philippine Sea with near-total impunity. Their aircraft, equipped with advanced systems, can operate far from their home bases, projecting power and influence across vast stretches of ocean. The PL-15 missile, a cutting-edge weapon in China's arsenal, outclasses anything the Philippine Air Force currently possesses. With its extended range and sophisticated targeting, it gives Chinese pilots the confidence to dominate the airspace, using their superior firepower to intimidate and control the skies over contested waters. This overwhelming air superiority doesn't just stay in the sky, it emboldens China's actions on the water as well. Chinese Navy and Coast Guard vessels operate more aggressively, knowing they have air cover, making it increasingly difficult for the Philippines to assert its sovereign rights and protect its own fishermen and territory. But the introduction of the Meteor missile could fundamentally upend this dynamic, shifting the balance of power in the region. With Meteor-equipped fighters, the Philippine Air Force would finally have the ability to match, or even exceed, the range of China's most advanced missiles. This new capability would allow Filipino pilots to engage threats from much farther away, leveling the playing field for the first time in years. Suddenly, Chinese pilots would be forced to respect Philippine airspace, knowing that they could be targeted from well beyond visual range. The days of unchallenged patrols would be over, replaced by a new sense of caution and vulnerability. This new risk would compel China to rethink its tactics, reducing its freedom of action and making every incursion a calculated gamble rather than a routine show of force. Even without firing a shot, the mere presence of the Meteor missile acts as a powerful deterrent. It signals to all players in the region that the Philippines can now defend its skies and waters with credible force. By raising the cost of aggression, the Meteor makes any potential conflict far less likely. Adversaries must now think twice before escalating tensions or provoking a confrontation. With these new capabilities, the rules of engagement in the South China Sea would be forever changed, ushering in a new era of balance and deterrence in the region. Imagine a Philippine supply mission to Ayungin Shoal, often harassed by Chinese ships and aircraft. Today, Filipino patrol planes must keep their distance, vulnerable to Chinese long-range missiles. With Meteor-armed FA-50PHs, Filipino fighters could patrol from a safe distance, ready to defend supply ships. If a Chinese jet approaches, the threat of a Meteor launch would force it to back off. This invisible shield would protect not just one outpost, but vast stretches of the Philippines' exclusive economic zone. A handful of Meteor-equipped jets could safeguard fishing fleets and energy exploration across the region. The deterrent effect is multiplied. Aggression becomes a gamble, not a guarantee. The Philippines could enforce its rights without direct confrontation. The sky itself becomes a line that cannot be crossed. Picture a lone FA-50PH on patrol detecting two hostile aircraft 150 kilometers away. Before Meteor, the only option was to retreat, outgunned and outnumbered. With Meteor, the Filipino pilot becomes the hunter. Using data links and radar, the pilot silently tracks the enemy, then launches two Meteors from 120 kilometers out. The missiles streak toward their targets, guided by updates, then lock on with their own radar. The pilot can turn away, staying safe while the enemy is forced into desperate evasive maneuvers. The Meteor's ramjet keeps it in pursuit, making escape unlikely. Even if one enemy survives, the attack is broken and the mission is thwarted. A single Filipino jet can defeat superior numbers, all thanks to Meteor. The balance of power in the air is rewritten. The Meteor's arrival would send ripples across Southeast Asia. Neighbors like Vietnam and Malaysia, facing similar pressures from China, would quietly welcome a stronger Philippines. It could inspire them to upgrade their own defenses, strengthening regional security. The Meteor becomes more than a weapon. It's a symbol of resistance to coercion. ASEAN members might draw closer, united by a shared commitment to maritime freedom. China, however, would condemn the move, likely responding with military and economic pressure. Meanwhile, allies like Japan, Australia, and the UK would see a Meteor-equipped Philippines as a stabilizing force. The deal would also deepen Manila's ties with Europe, diversifying its defense partnerships. The United States, the Philippines' treaty ally, would view the Meteor deal as a strategic win. A more capable Philippine military means better burden sharing and a stronger regional network to counter Chinese expansion. Meteor missiles would make the PAF a more credible partner in joint exercises and contingency planning. While U.S. defense firms might regret losing a sale, the strategic benefits outweigh commercial concerns. The acquisition would push American industry to innovate, keeping allies equipped with the best technology. Most importantly, Meteor strengthens deterrence, making any attack on the Philippines riskier and less likely. This reduces the chance the US would need to intervene under the Mutual Defense Treaty. A Meteor-equipped Philippines protects its sovereignty and contributes to regional stability. It's a win for both Manila and Washington. The Meteor missile is more than a hardware upgrade. It's a strategic shift for the Philippines. It gives a small nation an asymmetric edge, creating a defensive shield over its vast maritime domain. The Meteor's value lies in deterrence, making any act of aggression a dangerous gamble. This credible threat allows the Philippines to defend its rights without resorting to conflict. The journey won't be easy, and China will push back, but perpetual vulnerability is not an option. Support from allies and neighbors underscores the move's importance for regional security. In the hands of the Philippine Air Force, the Meteor becomes a shield for sovereignty and a hope for peace. It's a step toward a future where the West Philippine Sea remains a source of prosperity, not conflict.